Hey, g'day, Josh here, Physique Essentials. I hope you're well. I am stoked to introduce you to a friend of mine, Andrew. Mate, how you doing?
Yeah, very well this morning. Very well. Oh, it's this afternoon now. It's just clicked over lunchtime. Yep.
No, good stuff, good stuff. So me and Andrew, we've been working together for the last 2.5 months. He's just gone through the Elite Physique Project, and his results are like absolutely jaw-dropping, outstanding, mate. Like you've smashed it across the board in every single way. So look, before we get into all of that, introduce yourself a little bit and who you are and where you're coming from, and yeah.
Well, yeah, Andrew Murray, 50 years of age, probably was in my best shape, probably in my, into my 20s, late right through to probably my 30s. Dropped the ball after that. Pretty much, went on any fad diet that you could try, had success there, lost weight, but, always managed to find me again, put it back on, or they're just not sustainable. The fad diets, tried the no carbs, the low carbs, the fasting, the basically at the end of the day, they just made me hungrier. Yeah.
No, cool. So you bring up a good point. Like, that's what I mean. Like you're no stranger to having a crack. Like you've tried to lose weight in the past, and look, you've got to play devil's advocate. Like you've been successful. Every diet and everything that you do, you lose weight. But the big problem then just comes down to the sustainability and being able to keep it off.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. But well, then I saw your ad,
Mm-hmm.
reached out, um, went full head on into it, and have not looked back.
That's awesome, mate.
Yeah, have not looked back. Loved every minute of it. I've loved the lessons, loved the training, loved the eating. Have not felt hungry. I mean, when people say to me, look at you look at you look great. What are you doing? And I go, mate, not really anything different. I'm still eating bacon and eggs for brekkie. And they go, nah, that's bullshit. It's like, I kid you not. I still eat, schnittos for dinner. It's
Yeah.
like I have not changed.
That's
I
well,
just,
actually, you have changed. You've changed in a
oh
very, very big way.
yes,
But
yes. There's a lot of weight and a lot of muscle being put on.
no, that's good. No, I remember like one of the goals that you said at the start is that the bike jacket was actually feeling, it's too tight. And
Yep.
now I feel bad because you got to go out and buy new bike jackets because they're too loose.
Oh, I just put 3 jumpers on.
No, that's
uh,
cool. I suppose that one of the other things that's made our journey really unique is, and again, a lot of the times when I talk to guys, and because we're all busy, there's all a million and one things going on, and there's always an excuse. There's always I can't do it now, or I'm busy, or I'll get to it. When you first jumped on board, like you had a big family holiday coming up, and then spent 3 weeks going through Darwin and all up there in T.
yeah, I was a bit hesitant at that, but I thought, no, I've gone headlong into this. Let's just do it.
Cool.
Life is about different things, isn't it? You go on holidays, you have weekends away, you do those. People invite you out at different times of your training, and no, I found it really good. That side of it, I really enjoyed that side of it because one, I got to see beautiful sunrises that other people didn't get to see whilst I was doing my training. Two, I got to learn how to actually, when you're on holidays, you don't have to go into holiday mode eating. You don't have to sit back and consume multiple bags of barbecue shapes. You
Mhm.
can actually still eat well, eat healthy, and enjoy your holiday.
That's it. And there's two interesting points that you bring up there. Number one, we feel that if we go on holidays and we don't slam the weight on and come back with the excess baggage, that we haven't enjoyed ourselves. And on the flip side, if you are being accountable to the food that you're eating, you're going to be miserable. And in
Yeah,
both cases, that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like you're still able to go away, enjoy food with the family, and all those sorts of things, and experience things that they slept through.
that's exactly it. And not just that, it just like waking up, before everyone else is up and doing a training session. You just get that one-on-one with yourself.
Yeah,
It's like your own meditation time. It's good, and it does actually. You talk about pre-framing your days. It gives you an opportunity to. This is how my day is going to play out. Yeah,
And that's another interesting point that you bring up. Like we as men, like we spend so much of our energies and our focus doing everything else for everyone else. So we put our kids first, family first, we put our work first, we put absolutely everything, and we're often forgotten about. And then if we do then happen to, take any snippet of time for ourselves, it's usually met with guilt and resentment because we think that we should be doing something else for someone else. So this is a perfect example of just being able to take some time out for you, because you've got to be able to pour into your own cup first. And it's not a huge amount of time, but just making sure that you look after yourself so you can then go and serve everyone else.
Yeah, yep, exactly. That's it. Yep. And yep, I've said it before in my weekly reflections. If I'm at my best and I'm looking after myself the best that I can, then that gives me the opportunity to look after other people, because there are a lot of people who rely on me.
100%, mate, 100%. And speaking of those other people, so how has this impacted the family? Like, are they loving the new Andrew?
They do. They love it. They love it so much. They love all my meals. They take them as well. I have to cook 3 times as much for my weekly meals for lunch, because the kids now eat them, which is a great thing because they're eating healthy foods.
Yep.
Everyone who hugs me now, they can actually touch the other side. They go, "Oh, geez, I can touch my other hand."
Wow.
And my youngest son keeps hugging me because he goes, "I just love I can touch my other hand when I hug you."
How good's that? How awesome is that? Because I know from a kid's perspective, if they can't, they're only kind of like this. It's like, oh, I can't get all the way around.
Yeah.
But look, and there's another thing, look, to touch on, like when you said some of the other things that you've done in before, like, you're either cutting carbs or you're doing shakes or anything like that. Like, they're the sorts of diets that are not embraced by a family. The kids don't get excited. Oh, Dad, what are you drinking now? You're drinking a chocolate shake. It's doesn't even ice cream now. You know what I mean?
Or one time when they were all eating pasta, and I used to mix it with spinach or broccoli instead of having the pasta. Last night we had pasta, and I ate pasta.
And that's what I mean. And I even think from a child's perspective, they then start to form those negative relationships with food, because they sit back and they go, all right, Dad's trying to get healthy. Why? Because Dad thinks he's carrying too much weight. Now Dad's not eating pasta. Okay, so it must be the pasta that makes you fat. Why am I allowed to have pasta? Do I have a weight issue? I'm only 10 years old. What the hell's wrong with me? You know what I mean? And then we inadvertently bring that into the household because we think that's the way it must be done. But on the flip side now, obviously what's being brought in, in terms of just good relationships with food, that the kids are enjoying it so much that they're eating your food. I share your pain.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing that. I think that's a cool thing, that they're starting to eat that, because I was a bit worried about what was going into lunches previous. Yeah, so no, it's been a good thing.
No, we have to be real. It's only a problem when they eat the last one.
Yeah,
when you think there's a meal in the fridge and you go to the fridge and it's like, it's
gone. That's when you go, thank God for those little tuna cans.
And I'd be curious to know, like, if you're happy to share, like, your wife's perspective, because a lot of times guys will sit back and they'll go, oh yeah, my wife's not really too keen on me doing this. And a lot of times I think, what? So your wife doesn't want you to be fitter, healthier, happier, an improved version of yourself?
She's wrapped. There's a lot of things she's wrapped about. One thing we spoke about, I go, oh geez, I had to spend $300 the other day. I had to buy a new belt, new pants for work, because they're so they just look ridiculous, and they were falling off, and the belt was about 3 meters out the other side, like half a meter. So I bought another belt, and I said, oh, this is going to get expensive. She goes, just imagine how much it would have cost if you kept going, health-wise, going to the doctor, all those operations that you need. She goes, I don't care, buy new clothes. She loves it. I don't snore. She's another one who hugs me and goes, where's that? That's gone. The belly's gone, I'm not as warm at night now, though. So not the heat bag.
That is, look, it's one, but then again, come summer, you'll be a lot cooler.
That's correct. Yeah.
But again, that's something powerful that you really touch on. And it is the compounding cost of poor health. And when you really unpack it, in terms of a financial aspect, wait a second, can't talk. Like, when in a financial aspect, so everything that you'd expect from that. Like if you've got the sleeping issues, costs of CPAP machines and stuff like that, and expanding wardrobes, so you've got to buy more and more and more clothes. Then you've got all the other things. You got the costs that are not even financial. So strains on relationships. Kids grow up and they think, oh yeah, I just wish once Dad would have come in the pool with us. He always sat on the side, and the reasons why we sit on the side is because we don't want to take our shirts off. You know what I mean? So you flip it back, and the compounding benefits from this are just outstanding.
It is. Yep. Look, like I said, nobody cares around here. Everyone's like in admiration. All my wife, the kids and stuff, they love it. Yeah, they, look at what you've done.
and then do they ask you what the secret is? What are you doing?
I think they know, because I talk about it now. I talk the talk.
Cool.
About being accountable. You've got to be accountable for what you put in. You keep putting it in, it's going to come out somewhere.
It is. And that's what I mean. People at the start, and I'll sit back and I'll go, tell us your secret. Like, what's the secret workout? What's the diet? What's the supplement? What's this? What's that? And again, a big part of this is just getting to the point where it's like, you know what? I got to take ownership of me, figure out what's going on, what the real underlying truth is. I need a path that's going to suit me and my lifestyle. So how to move, how to eat, how to actually include the family. Understand that, we've all got different complexities of time, but I've got the time to invest in myself. And when I've got all those things dialed in, I'm going to be absolutely certain and confident I'm going to get a fantastic result. And additionally, that'll keep compounding. Now, I've brought up results. So like we talk about numbers and things, like numbers aren't the most important things in the world. They're a good representation of, but we had to adjust yours. We had to reset your goal, I think, 3 times.
Yeah.
Because you turned around and took off 14 kilos in 10 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without dieting. You know what I mean? Like
it
wasn't, we're not arduous dieting or anything like that. It's not like, no, you can't have schnitzel, you can't have this, you can't have that. You just made great choice.
Better choices, yeah. Yep.
And dropped 14 kilos.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know it's one of the things that I shared right at the start. It's like the excess weight that we carry in that poor health is just a symptom of the lifestyle that we've been living. So the lifestyle that you were living contributed to that excess weight being there. So it didn't matter how many times that you go on a diet. If the underlying problem in those habits are still there, it's only going to come back.
Yeah.
And all I've done in this situation is encouraged you and given you the opportunities to change those core beliefs. And then the weight literally has fallen off.
It has, yep. Yeah, I like when you talk about other benefits, like, the other thing I'm going to have to do is book into the doctor to go get my medication adjusted or taken away, because I don't think I have a blood pressure problem anymore. It's super duper low now. So
and how amazing is that? Like, we think that, okay, once we hit 40, 50, that these are the standard conditions now that I have to deal with, because that kind of comes as the baggage of being that age, not realizing that in so many instances it really is lifestyle related.
Yeah. Well, and when you hit on that age thing, I thought that at 50 that would be the end. I could lose weight, but there's no building muscle. But again, you talk about the numbers, that's proven wrong as well. There's muscle building there. There's weight loss and there's muscle building. So it's twofold. I don't know, we spoke about my next goal, and, one of those is to have a 6-pack. So maybe that is by Christmas.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I did all your numbers before, and you lost, like, body wise was like 42 centimeters or something, 45 centimeters from the body, but 15 of that, or 14 and a half, was from the waist alone.
Yeah.
Like, which is amazing. And that just proves it's not just about weight loss per se. It is about composition. It is about losing body fat. It's about increasing energy, stamina, performance, vitality, confidence, leadership skills, you name it.
Yeah. And like I said, the snoring stopped. I jump out of bed now. There used to be, I'd look at the clock and I'd go, man, if I really got to get up, maybe another 15 minutes, maybe another 15 minutes. Now I just get up, do my pre-training exercises and then warm-ups and have something to eat, and then just get into it. And then every other morning, it's the same. That I'm not training, I'm up. I just get up.
So all these other things that you were struggling with, and we just think it's part and parcel of the age. the condition that we're in. It's just normal. I have to accept it. I can't do anything about it. Or if I go and speak to someone about it, they just want to prescribe this or sell me this or sell me that. And in this situation, these have all come as compounding benefits. You know, if you're sleeping better, clearer, potentially go off the meds, that's going to be from a doctor's, diagnosis. But it just goes to show the power of improving your lifestyle and making better choices.
Happier at work, happier in life. Yeah.
How awesome is that?
It is. It's great. I love it.
And then those results then will then continue to compound back.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of rinse and repeat. So what is next? Speaking of rinse and repeating, what's next?
Well, I've already, as I mentioned the other day, I've already penciled it in that. So once it's written there, it's real.
Yep.
It's on the diary, in the calendar. The next stage is to drop another 4 or 5. Sorry, another, what am I at? 96, another 6 to get to 90 by the end of this term, which I think I've got 5 weeks left for the school term. And I really want to see a 6-pack by the end of the year.
Awesome. Cool.
That's I'm not sure. Maybe there's an event coming up. Maybe because I do running in my off. When on my non-training days, I get out and do my cardio.
Yeah.
And again, that's more. I do need that. That's my headspace. I get out by myself. Someone mentioned the other day, oh, maybe I'll come out with a run with you, and I said, please don't. That's my time.
See, they're just drawing inspiration. They're like, I want to have a little bit of what he's having.
Yeah, but that's my time. I get out and I do my thing, and that's where I pre-frame my day. I think about, wash away everything from yesterday and get into the next day. So maybe a run, 10Ks. I've done 5K runs before, maybe a 10K run. That's what I'd like to do. And my other aim is that, I used to be an avid cyclist, is I'd love to get out there and rip the legs off some people again. That was my trick at the end of a ride.
Let me ask, like, now that you've achieving these goals, I should say you've achieved this goal. Are you finding that you're now confident enough to start setting new goals? Like, is it almost as safe to say that, you rewind back 3 months ago and these weren't goals? Yeah. And now all of a sudden you've achieved, and it's like, hey, I'm starting to, maybe this is a possibility.
Yeah, 2.5 months ago, Andrew would have, looked at, 5 kilos as a win. Let's just get that off. And but now I look at it, the sky's the limit, really. I just look at it and I go, I'm here now. I'm where I've wanted to be for years.
Yep.
But now I want more. And now I know, not just I want more, now I know that I can achieve more. That's the other thing. That's the key to it all. That I know I've seen what I can do in that 2.5 months. I know that before I used to struggle, didn't have the mentorship, didn't have the program, didn't have the lessons, didn't have the accountability, didn't have the Wednesday night Q&As, that type of thing. Now that's what's got me to there. Like I said, awesome. You're emotionally invested, you're financially invested. Just go. It's awesome, go time. Yeah,
that's awesome. Now, I'm so happy to hear all of that. You know what I mean? And again, sometimes it's very easy. And we know the health and fitness industry and the weight loss industry, they just sell simply on images and all that sort of stuff. And let's be real. Like, we all like to look good and all that sort of stuff. We want to look our best, but it's these other things, these other results that you're experiencing and you didn't even realize they were there, and how they then massively compound forward. Like, that's the stuff that's life-changing.
Yeah.
That is it.
And you know what I mean? The other thing, to note is that, I did it all in my own gym.
Look,
it's, yeah.
And again, I remember when you sent me those photos, and it's like, okay, cool, I've got a bench, and there's some leaves, and there's a couple of dumbbells on the ground, and that's it. And again, like, a lot of times guys will sit back and they'll go, they're trying to present the excuse, and they'll go, oh, look, I'm too busy, or I don't have access to a gym, or I don't have this, and I'll sit back and it's like, look, it's not about what you've got or haven't got per se. It's, we're going to dial things in that's going to suit you. your
Yep.
lifestyle, your routine, because that's what matters the most. If you wanted to go to the gym, you'd go to the gym. You want to stay at home, you dial it in to suit that. It really then comes down to just that consistent application and making things simple, making them easy, and making them sustainable. And then that's the real key. And now you can actually see the power of that firsthand. And it's like, well, you know what? It's been under my nose the whole time.
Yeah.
Now that
Yeah.
I've seen that, now I can exploit it and just take it as far as I want. I just love the fact that you've said it a couple of times. It's your time. It's your
Yeah.
time to be able to fill your cup. And
It is, and it really is. I think that everyone needs that. You might think you've got it in the evening when you're sitting there, watching TV with the family, that you're vegging out and you're not thinking of anything. But that's my time alone, and that's when I think. And I value it, and I
yep,
love it, and I need it.
yep.
Um,
I often think like there's certain things that we need to be able to establish in our life, negotiables versus non-negotiables. And the training side of things and stuff like that to me is a real non-negotiable. It's something
yeah,
that must be done. And again, it's not just about oh yeah, I've got to go to the gym and it's leg day. It's rather, you know what, I've got 23 and 15 minutes, 23 hours or something to focus on the rest of the world, to be a dad, to work, be a professor, all this sort of stuff. But I'm able to take just this chunk of time for me. And by being able to go in and shut the world off and just do what needs to be done for you, as I said, to improve yourself, it then enables you to go out and then do everything else that you need to do with more purpose, with more energy, more focus, more everything.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Again, it's not selfish. It's your time.
well,
Like you said, you've got 23 hours to deal with everyone else.
wouldn't it
That's
be
your
selfish to
one.
not do it?
Yeah,
As
I
I'll
think
often
it
say,
is.
because all that
Yep.
means is everyone who's relying on you to be your best, you're quite happy for them to sit back and just, this is good enough, is close enough. You can take me for what I am. And it's like, if we've got a potential just to be able to improve ourselves, and as I said, the person that you are today compared to where you were 3 months ago, compared to the person that you're going to be in another 3 months' time, that's mind blowing. Because this
Yes.
whole process is all about self mastery and improving your own standards, improving your skill set. So you're going to continue to grow in so many different areas. So the world should
Yeah.
be aware.
I often think back to that our phone call. When we're chatting away, and you're like, "Are you in?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was a bit apprehensive at the start, and I was like, and you go, "You in?" And I was like, "Yep, let's." When I'd finished, when I'd listened to everything you had to say, and we'd gone through everything, and I was like, "Yep, let's do it."
Yep.
That's it. And
Because
it would have been interesting to record that phone call, and like we compare the photos, but also to compare the person from back then. There was not the confidence then.
it all comes to a point where, again, it just comes down to being able to take ownership. You know what? I'm done. And that's it. Because what's the
Yeah,
alternative? Because we've been down that alternative for months, years beforehand, making those wrong decisions and all that sort of stuff. The alternative would have been you would have still been sitting here at 110 or more,
or more.
still just
Yeah,
as frustrated, just one step closer to going, that's it. That's me. I'm accepting it. I'm done. I'm too
yeah,
old now, which is horseshit.
yeah. Look,
Oh.
I spent the morning at the footy surrounded by pies and hot dogs, and I went, I don't even feel like one of those. So just
And
the
that
thought
and
of it
that's
makes me feel
that's a
sick.
really powerful statement. It's not like you're sitting back going, "Oh my God, I can't have it. My
Yeah,
diet says I can't have a pie or whatever." It's like I've never written that once. It's just that I don't feel like it. And you start to gain control over your lifestyle. We're,
yeah,
we're, we're told what to do and all this sort of stuff. And again, you're starting to gain control. And once you gain control and you start to see it, how it all works, you become very dangerous,
yeah,
very efficient, very effective. So,
yeah. It's
mate,
it's
it's
one of
cool.
those things. When you look back upon it and you go, oh, geez, I wish I had have done this earlier. But you can't. I can't think like that because
No,
I didn't do it earlier. I'm doing it now, and I'm so happy that I have.
you might not have
And that I
listened then.
am.
You know what I mean? But the fact that you're happy now that you've done it, awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
super
that's
stoked,
it.
proud of you. Any final words before we wrap this up?
Geez, for anyone who's thinking, should I, shouldn't I do this? It's just a should. If you're in that mind frame and you're the right person, you just need to do it. That's it.
You're a legend. It's been fun.
Thank you.
All
It
right,
has
cool.
been fun.
Okay, cool. All right, wrap it up. So again, my name is Josh. If you want to know more of what Andrew has done, or you want to know if I can help, just please scroll down, drop me a message here. You can check out my free training on the web, www.physique-essentials.com. Otherwise, I'm super easy to find. Happy to chat, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty. We'll chat more. Ciao, ciao.